When you have Krishna present to guide you through the Gita, all you need to do is follow him. Remember that Krishna is already there. Don't imagine, don't speculate. The Gita is an instruction to be followed. The Gita is a song to be loved.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
My question revolves around the virtual world actually. So, it has been a lot of virtual environment lately, and we have many modes of instant gratification with this virtual environment. Like the waiting period has decreased and the patience has decreased. And so, I want to ask, how will this habit of ours, affect us going ahead? And also, another thing is like it leads to little time for second thoughts in this environment. And for example, just ordering a cake while we are on diet, since everything is at our fingertips. So, like, what can we do to get better? Like, is this good? Is this bad? Or should we go into this flow, or should we abstain from it? What can you say?
See, first of all, I'll describe the situation. The situation you have hinted at. See, there is no need for any kind of spirituality if all is hunky dory. If we are doing well, if life is all smooth and natural, then you need not make any efforts towards betterment, right? What brings a person towards truth, and that is what is called as spirituality, is suffering, right? When you suffer, that is when you are forced to acknowledge that there is something wrong with the way you think and operate. Now, if today, as you said, there are ample means for instant gratification, then that suffering is not allowed to last. You are given an easy escape from reality. You operated wrongly, rather you exist wrongly, so you suffered. But 1001 means exist within your easy access to block your suffering, to anesthetize you. Not that your suffering would be gone that way, but you would be numbed down. The experience of suffering would be covered under a deceptive layer of pleasure, right? So, the incentive to introspect and change the inner fundamentals would be reduced. Now, what would happen this way? When you do this repeatedly, then the suffering gets internalized more and deeper, because you are not allowing it to come to the surface. What do I mean by the surface? Surface denotes the level, the place at which your suffering can become available to experience, right? There is this table in front of me. All that is available for my eyes to experience is the surface of the table, right? So, even if I know the whole thing is here, all I experience is the surface. So, we have a dirty escape option. If the table is cluttered or dirty or soiled and spotted, what do? I cover it with some kind of cloth. And to my eyes, with all their limitations, the dirt, the problem will no longer be visible or available to experience. That's what most of our progress throughout our history has been about. Not about solving, really solving problems, but about obfuscating problems. So, we have been on a spree to invent ways, methods, very, very clever mechanisms to just hide problems. But the problem is not gone. It is just going in and in, deeper and deeper. It is now reaching your core. It will become your core. It will be a very bad situation, because on the surface you will be all right. On the skin you will be all right, but within you will be all dirty. That is what is happening. And a more common name for this situation is neurosis. Now you see why we are seeing a deluge of mental health cases over the last few decades. It is an epidemic. Mankind was never as terribly diseased mentally as it is today. And this is not my subjective opinion. Please do consult the statistics and the research papers. The average stress levels, anxiety levels measured numerically today in several groups are way higher than what they were even at the time of the world wars. And we are many times more prosperous today than we were ever in our history. We have conquered disease. We have conquered natural unpredictability. We want to colonize the moons and planets. We want to beat death. But inwardly we are getting more and more rotten every passing year. That is precisely because of the availability of easy means of gratification. Life just showed the mirror to you, exposed to you how rotten you are, and what do? You switch on the TV, you rush to the nearest shopping mall, you call up your boyfriend or girlfriend. Easy means to please yourself all around, abundant. Pick up the bottle and pour yourself a drink. Play a video game. What is this gaming industry all about? Don't you ever wonder why man needs so much entertainment today? It should be obvious. We have never needed as much entertainment as we do today. And we have never been as mentally sick as we are today. These two go together. Are you getting it? Now this will lead to an explosion. This will lead to a situation where the bulk of mankind is mentally sick. We are already there actually. What will that result in? A series of poor decisions at the aggregate level. An entire country might decide it does not want its rivers. Committee of Nations might decide that it values economic progress more than the environment. What are you seeing in the climate change deliberations? Please tell me. Why are they failing again and again? Had the group of leaders been sane, they would have said, we want to control the carbon footprint. It does not matter what economic costs we will have to bear. But these things are just dragging their feet since last several decades. And we are making the wrong kinds of decisions continuously. And how are those leaders affording such pathetic decisions? Because those leaders are propped up by a democratic system in which the entire demography, the whole voter base is neurotic. Don't you see how people vote? So, when the entire population has gone insane, you have insane leaders, and when you have insane leaders, you have very, very catastrophic decisions being made continuously. So, we need to mine out the minerals. It does not matter that we will have to wipe clean an entire forest for that. Hack down the forests, we want the minerals. If you just sit and think about it, nobody but a mad culture, a mad population can make such decisions. And all of this is very intimately linked to the fact that you can entertain yourself very, very easily. And also the fact that nothing entertains you. So, TikTok was 1 minute and Reels is 15 seconds. Because nothing succeeds in entertaining you, you want something else very, very quickly. You just can't stick to one thing because you know very well that that thing is bound to fail. Are you getting it? We are heading towards a mass catastrophe. And to top that, we are saying our role models, our corporate poster boys, the global icons, they are saying, why care for Earth? We can colonize Mars. And now that leaves you with even lesser incentive to save the planet. This is collective madness. But then, you know, in the larger scheme of things, the continuation or disappearance of this one species called Homo sapiens hardly matters. My concern is the kind of suffering this mad species is going to inflict upon all other life forms before it itself passes into obliteration. Obviously, mankind is heading towards deep disaster, but in the process, it is carrying millions of other species as well towards extinction. Kindly just Google on the number of species that are going extinct per day, and that is not in the natural scheme of things. All that is man-made. We are doing it because we are mad. So, fine, it probably is just natural justice that we pay for our sins. But it really saddens me that the entire planet has to pay for our misdeeds.